Are you curious about how 5 notorious gang members react to receiving life sentences? Dive into these shocking stories where brutal crimes meet the courtroom's final judgment. From ruthless murders to shocking courtroom moments, discover how these criminals face the ultimate consequence of their actions. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community for more gripping content like this. Today, we're diving into some of the most intense and dramatic court cases involving gang members who received life sentences. From brutal crimes to shocking courtroom reactions, we'll explore the stories behind these sentences and the emotional aftermath for everyone involved. 5. Abel Gallegos, a grim tale of violence. Abel Gallegos, a 36-year-old man, faced some of the most serious charges imaginable, including first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, second-degree kidnapping, retaliation against a witness, and tampering with a deceased body. His victim was 28-year-old Simone Duran, who suffered a truly horrific fate. Gallegos initially reached out to Duran through social media, persuading her to meet him. But what followed was nothing short of a nightmare. Alongside his accomplices, Rene Rosales and Alonzo Quintara, Gallegos lured Duran into a trap. They kidnapped her, shot her 10 times while she begged for her life, and then set her body on fire. This act of brutality shocked many and left the community reeling. This wasn't Gallegos' first brush with the law. By the time of this crime, he had already racked up 5 felony convictions and had his parole or probation revoked 8 times. The severity of his actions and his past criminal record led to a strong reaction from the court. Gallegos was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, plus an additional 163 years. The judge made it clear that such a blatant disregard for human life could not be tolerated. 4. Adam David Pate, a shocking crime. Adam David Pate, hailing from Lancaster, North Carolina, is known for his striking appearance, including a split tongue and several eye-catching tattoos. Among these tattoos is the 974 inches mark on his face, a symbol associated with the Gangster Disciples, a notorious street gang. This particular tattoo gained infamy following his involvement in a horrifying crime. In October 2013, Pate lured 33-year-old Ricky James to a secluded spot. Once there, Pate brutally attacked James with a knife, stabbing him nearly 40 times. The discovery of James's body was both shocking and tragic. It was found by 2 children who were out searching for a lost dog. The sight of the body, covered in numerous stab wounds, deeply disturbed the community and led to widespread media coverage. The details of the crime sparked intense public outrage. During Pate's trial, his lack of visible emotion stood in sharp contrast to the emotional testimony delivered by James's brother. The courtroom was filled with tension as the detective recounted the gruesome details of the case. What made the sentencing even more unsettling was Pate's reaction. Throughout the proceedings, he wore an unsettling smile, which only added to the chilling nature of his crime. The case remains a stark reminder of how brutal actions can impact a community and lead to severe consequences. 3. The Trinitarios Gang, a brutal pursuit. The case of the Trinitarios gang members is truly heartbreaking. On June 21, 2018, 15-year-old Lisandro Jr. Guzman became the victim of a brutal attack carried out by 14 gang members. The violence began as an act of revenge for the shooting of one of their members the day before. The attack was captured on security cameras and the footage was shocking. Guzman, who was only a teenager, tried to find safety in a local bodega, but the gang members, aged between 19 and 29, dragged him out of the store and brutally attacked him with knives and machetes. Despite his desperate attempts to escape, Guzman was fatally injured and collapsed outside a nearby hospital. The disturbing video spread quickly online, leading to a wave of anger and demands for justice. The trial that followed was lengthy and intense, lasting over 4 years. In the end, all 14 gang members were found guilty. Their sentences varied from 12 years to life in prison without the possibility of parole. However, shortly before the final verdict was delivered, the Supreme Court overturned the life sentences. The court cited concerns about the fairness of the trial process, which added another layer of complexity to this tragic case. Judge Matthew Demick, who oversaw the trial, made a powerful statement about the case. He described the attack as a senseless act of violence that has left a community in mourning. He emphasized that the case highlighted the severe consequences of gang-related retaliation and the need for justice to be served fairly. 2. Pedro Espinoza, a life of crime and controversy. Pedro Espinoza's story is a tragic example of how crime can spiral out of control. Espinoza was a member of the 18th Street Gang in Los Angeles, and his name became widely known after he was charged with the murder of Jamie Shaw Jr., a high school football player. The events leading to Shaw's death were chilling. Just after being released from jail for gun and assault charges, Espinoza committed the crime. Less than a day after his release, he killed Shaw in a brutal attack. The case grabbed national headlines not only because of the violence, but also due to Espinoza's status as an illegal immigrant and his gang affiliation. This caught the attention of politicians, including Donald Trump, who used the case to push for stricter immigration laws. The controversy around the case stemmed from Espinoza's background and the way it was used in the political arena. His illegal immigrant status and gang ties became focal points, fueling debates about immigration and crime. During the trial, Espinoza was found guilty on all counts, which led to a recommended death penalty. However, this was later reduced to a life sentence in prison. The case highlights how personal tragedies can become part of larger, often contentious debates. 1. Tariq Jackson, a story of regret and redemption. Tariq Jackson, who recently received a prison sentence of 17 to 40 years for killing Keandre Duff, a member of a rival gang. The courtroom was filled with intense emotions during Jackson's sentencing. Keandre's mother, Tiffany Claiborne, spoke about how devastating her son's death had been for her and her family. Throughout the trial, Jackson showed clear signs of regret. He admitted that his actions caused a lot of pain and took responsibility for the tragic results of his decisions. Jackson also shared a message with other gang members, warning them about the real impact of the gang lifestyle. He highlighted that it doesn't just hurt those involved directly, but also their families, who suffer greatly as a result. In February 2017, Jackson took a plea deal, admitting guilt to charges including second-degree murder, armed robbery, weapons charges, and perjury. For the murder charge alone, he was sentenced to 15 to 40 years in prison, with extra time added for the other charges. This case showed a remarkable level of forgiveness and understanding from everyone involved. That wraps up today's deep dive into some of the most shocking reactions to life sentences among gang members. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.